Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my podcast, Spiritual Talk with Christy Godwin and Friends. I am your resident psychic medium, Christy Godwin. Today, it's just going to be me and you hanging out, and we're going to be talking about embracing light and dark as complementary forces, not opposing forces, but essential partners in our personal and spiritual transformation. This conversation will also give you a taste of what we'll be exploring in an upcoming workshop called Embracing Light and Dark as Complementary Forces. That workshop is held within my Divine Collective group. If you're interested in checking that out, go to my website, www.christygodwinpsychicmedium.com. Under Divine, you click on the Divine Collective tab, and it'll be all you need to know to check that out. That workshop is going to be held on March 12th at 6 p.m. Central Time. But if you are hearing this podcast past that time, know that you can still join the Divine Collective anytime. We're always doing fun things. We meet at least 3 times a month to discuss some kind of spiritual concept. And also, all of the teachings are recorded. So you will be able to check out that workshop as a recording. Now, breaking the myth, light versus dark. For centuries, we've been conditioned to think of light as good and dark as bad. Light representing positivity, clarity, expansion, while darkness is often associated with fear and uncertainty or even struggle. But this perspective is becoming outdated. Let's think of new wisdom that may be rolling around in our communities right now. Is that perspective of light is good and dark is bad, is that really helping you right now? Many spiritual traditions teach that darkness is not something to fear. It is where deep wisdom resides. If you have ever studied Carl Jung at all, he really talks about embracing that shadow side, which people associate with the darkness. Darkness is where seeds take root before they grow, where we integrate lessons before stepping forward. Without it, we wouldn't have the introspective necessary for real transformation. I'm not talking about surface change. I'm talking about transformation that really changes the way you step forward in your walk on this planet. When you think about darkness in your own life, do you see it as a period of struggle or do you see it as a space for learning? Join us in the workshop and we'll help you shift your perspective on darkness and explore how it serves your highest good. Again, that workshop is going to be March 12th at 6 p.m. Central Time. It's within the Divine Collective group. Go to my website, Christy Godwin Psychic Medium, click on Divine Collective, and it will give you information. Now, let's talk about understanding the role of darkness for a moment. Many of us fear the unknown, and I completely get that. It's the unknown. We resist slowing down and feeling emotions deeply or stepping into parts of ourselves that feel uncomfortable. But that is where the true transformation happens. When we learn to sit with our emotions and feel them, it allows us to process them instead of just tapping them down. If you just continually tapping emotions down, they will just keep building and building and building until you find yourself choking on these unprocessed emotions. But if these moments of retreat or stillness are actually the most powerful periods of growth for us, do you not think you owe it to yourself to at least learn a little bit about how you can sit with the resistance, feel those emotions deeply? In nature, we see it all the time. Seeds must be buried in soil before they can sprout. Animals hibernate to conserve energy for the next season. In our own periods, in periods of darkness, are where we are. Do we, process emotions? It's where we heal past wounds. It's where we gain clarity on what truly matters to us. It's where we reconnect to our intuition. The problem is most of us resist these phases instead of embracing them, which I get it. It can be, scary to sit with the unknown. Also, what I have found in my own walk is we will sit with those feelings. We will heal past wounds. We will gain clarity that truly matters. And then we think we've done all the processing and then we move forward. Where what we really are doing is we're peeling back the layers. If you think of it as a peeling back the layers of an onion, you can always go deeper. And so it's important to remind ourselves that though we think we've healed past wounds, we think we've gained clarity on what truly matters, those things change. Our clarity can change. When we heal past wounds, we can heal them in layers, and sometimes we'll heal a layer and we just have to sit there for a little while, and then we need to heal another layer before we can move forward. Can you think of a time in your life when slowing down or facing something difficult led to unexpected growth? I want you to just take a moment and sit with that question. Can you think of a time where you really sat with some hard emotions and you faced something difficult? And on the other side, you had this beautiful, unexpected growth. I want us also next to talk about honoring the light without bypassing the dark. Now let's talk about light. Everyone loves talking about light. That's a fun subject. Light is what calls us forward. It's where we experience that beautiful clarity. We take action. We step into new possibilities. I mean, those are all beautiful concepts, and we're all on board with that. Yes, let's go. It represents the season of spring and the energy of movement and renewal. But here's something most people don't realize. Too much light can be just as unbalanced as too much darkness. Ever feel burned out because you kept pushing forward without rest? I am a poster child for that one. Ever avoided deep healing by focusing on only positive vibes? I, even in my own circles, am constantly known or always known as being love and light, love and light. But I do take time to sit with myself. I do take time to journal and do those things that it takes to really gain clarity, sit with my intuition, and process those hard emotions. You cannot just sit with the positive vibes only and ignore the darkness because it really creates a season of unbalance in your life. Have you ever started something new before fully processing the last chapter of your life? I see this a lot when people, especially with relationships lately, I'll see people ending relationships and jumping into another one without fully processing it. And if you don't fully process the last chapter of your life, you're not headed into the next phase with a good, fresh, positive start. The key is balance, allowing light to guide you while ensuring you've done the deep work in the dark. Are these areas in your life, or are there areas in your life where you're rushing forward without giving yourself time to process? I know that's hard in our time of now, now, now. Everybody's on the go. They're juggling multiple things in our lives right now, but you really owe it to yourself. And, in the workshop, we're going to talk about easy ways to do that. Quick and easy ways. You don't need to take an hour every day, which if you can, great, but most of us don't have that kind of time in our schedule. Um, so finding balance, that is really the key to lasting transformation. Because we're not wanting surface change. We're wanting true lasting transformation. So how do we find the right balance between action and introspection? Because both are very important. Between the light and the dark. The truth is, most of us swing between extremes, either pushing too hard or withdrawing too much. I have definitely been guilty of this in the past, so don't think I am preaching or talking about something I have not been guilty of myself. The earth gives us a beautiful example of balance. This beautiful dance between night and day, the cycles of the seasons, the rhythm of life itself. When we align ourselves with the natural rhythms, we stop fighting against our own growth process. How can you integrate this What are some quick and easy ways you can integrate these intentions into your daily life without, again, you don't need to take an hour every day. If you can, great. Most of us don't have that kind of time. Okay, so what are some easy ways? A morning light intention. Set a clear goal or focus for the day. A great way to remind yourself to do this is you do, I'm people shouldn't, but I know realistically we do. We'll sit first thing we look at is our phone, or we'll have it beside our bed because we use it as an alarm or whatever. Put a sticky note on there to set a positive intention. If you're if you usually get up and just hit the floor running, go, 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 take a moment and put a sticky note on your phone or on your bathroom mirror where you brush your teeth, somewhere where you will see it to set a clear goal or focus for the day. It's just that quick reminder. So that's where you're going to start your day. And then in the evening, do a shadow reflection. Take time to process what emotions came up and what lessons you learned. Is there a time emotion came up and you think you could have handled it better? Or is there a time emotion came up and you think you did a great job of handling it? Write down both. Just do that evening shadow reflection. So those are two quick and easy ways you can start and end your day by processing, acknowledging the light and dark. Also, honor your cycles. Give yourself permission to rest when needed and take action when inspired. That is so important. I know I had gone through around Christmas time and into January, I was going through a time of where I was healing a lot from physical illnesses. And it was very difficult for me to give myself time to heal because we're so used to being on the go and to sit down. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, to sit down and give ourselves permission to let, the dust to sit on the furniture, the dishes to be undone is very difficult, but it's so important to acknowledge your physical being when you need that rest, when your brain needs that rest to honor it. Now, I just gave you a couple of things you can do: the morning light intention and the evening shadow reflection. What small shifts can you make to balance introspection and action in your life? I just gave you two examples. If those don't work for you, come up with some on your own. It has to be something you can easily integrate into your life for you to be able to stick with it. Now, let's talk real quick about journaling as a tool for intention. I know a lot of times whenever I talk about journaling, people think, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. Again, we're not talking about an hour a day. It's those quick moments we can give to ourselves. One of the most powerful ways to work with both light and dark is through journaling. In the workshop on March 12th, we will be guiding you through a light and shadow journaling practice to help you identify, some of the parts of you that are ready to shine. In my readings and in my mentorships, I really talk to people about what is their superpower. We all have one. Sometimes we don't recognize it because it's just who we are. We might can recognize it in other people, but sometimes we have a hard time recognizing that in ourselves. So, what parts of you are ready to shine? We're going to help you identify the fears and doubts and past wounds that need healing. I have definitely been guilty of this where I felt like I had just done so much processing and healing in an area. And then I tried to move on to only realize I had peeled back some layers, but there were some other layers that needed to be peeled back and healed. And then again, we're going to help talk about how these two aspects are connected and how we can integrate them. When we put our thoughts on paper, when we write them out, we gain clarity on what's holding us back and what's ready to move forward. It's very important. You can absolutely do this on your own. You don't need to come to our workshop. It's just sometimes fun to be around a group of people and being led through it. Again, you don't need the workshop. You can absolutely do it on your own. Now, a question I want you to reflect on: what is one aspect of yourself you've been hiding that's ready to come out into the light? If you follow me on social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, any of those social media platforms, I put out a lot talking about this planet needs your authentic self right now. It's so important to walk this planet in an authentic manner, not who you think society says you need to be, but in a manner that honors who you are at your core. That's so important, and journaling can help you figure that out. Also, something that is powerful in transformation is the power of a ritual. Transformation isn't just about thinking something, it's about really embodying it. We're not talking again surface level change here. We want true transformation. So let's talk a little bit about how you can really integrate some things that can help you transform. A small practice you can do right now is placing, I only do this if it's safe, placing a hand over your heart, representing your light, and one over your solar plexus, which is right around your navel, representing the wisdom of your darkness. I want you to take a deep breath and repeat. I honor both my light and my darkness. I trust the seasons of my life and embrace transformation with grace. Again, we're going to say that again. I honor both my light and darkness. I trust the seasons of my life and embrace transformation with grace. Small intentional practices like that can help us embody our growth and create lasting change, not surface change, but lasting change and transformation. What is a small ritual that you could incorporate into your life that can honor both light and dark? Yes, I just walked you through one, but when a ritual truly resonates with you, when it's one you have come up with yourself, and you can easily incorporate it into your daily life, you're much more likely to stick with it. And of course, feel free to use the one I just gave you. You put a hand over your heart, representing your light, put a hand over your solar plexus, representing your darkness, and say, I honor both my light and darkness. I trust the seasons of my life and embrace transformation with grace. Now, we're going to do a little recap here because I want you to walk away from this podcast with some true lasting things that you can do to help you along this journey to not feel stuck. First of all, let's recap. Understanding the role of darkness. It can help us slow down. It can help us process deep wounds, heal past wounds, gain clarity, reconnect with our intuition. When I'm teaching people to use their intuition at all levels, I mean, I have people that want to navigate corporate America in a more intuitive manner, people that want to just, function in their daily life in a more intuitive manner, all the way to psychic mediums. One things I do in all practices is help people process that darkness, because when you have processed it and you honor that side of you, you can feel more whole and complete, which allows you to walk this planet in a more complete vibration. Now, we also need recap here. We need to honor our light without bypassing the dark. We want that balance. So remember, you don't want too much of either one. You want to make sure you're finding the balance. It's that dance between the dark and light, the night and day. It's that cycle. So some of the things we talked about earlier, set a morning light intention, and then evening shadow reflection. So those are two quick and easy things. Journaling. Talk about the parts of you that are ready to shine. Please let the authentic you shine through. This planet needs your authentic self walking this earth right now. We need that authentic version of you, that authentic vibration. Also, journaling can help process the fears and the doubts and the past wounds that need healing. It can help you identify them and process them. So I hope you have come away from this podcast with some quick and easy ways to help you be able to balance the dark and the light. We will be getting into this in much more in depth on a workshop I'm holding March 12th. If you're interested in joining that, please check it out on my website, ChristyGodwinPsychicMedium.com. It is under the Divine Collective. It is going to be March 12th. If you're listening to this podcast and past that time, please check out the Divine Collective anyway. We meet several times a month, and each month we have some kind of teaching like this, some kind of workshop we have to help you along your spiritual journey. I want to thank you for joining me today, for giving me some of your time. I so appreciate you, and I hope you have a blessed day.